Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in to my cast. Reto here. I haven't been uploading during the past 10 days because I was seriously ill. I am still recovering, but feeling much better. So here I am again. Unfortunately, today is only a voiceover because last time when I recorded, the audio recording of the microphone had some issues and I sounded like R2D2 on speed. And since I didn't record video and audio separately, or the microphone separately from the game, I can't run the sound in the background. So here we are at the juggler's camp where I unlock the woodcutter profession. So I go through and check which character would be the best choice to take over this profession. And I think Quenime is a good one because he is a miner like Meneathon. But I've never mined with him since Meneathon isn't a master yet. So, I'll change his profession to woodcutter and cut the first few logs with him. There we go. The minigame is still the same as before. You need to strike when the circle is green within the gray area to be successful. And, which we are. So the plan here today is to go over from Morheim to Brownrock to see if we can't get a few more contracts in the same area as the scenario missions are. By the way, the scenario is at the point where we should visit each vineyard and destroy the strange tuber with the weeding potion we've recently prepared. So here we are at Lenade's Inn, checking for contracts. We take a quick look at this mercenary. I can't remember why, because we don't need any more people in our troop, I think, for now. And here I come across a superb new recipe. I think it's called stuffed cabbage. There it is. That's the meal. And the scroll is the recipe for it. So we can increase critical hit chance by 10% for a day. And the ingredients are cabbage, of course, with chicken and some salt. There it is. Yeah. I wanted to quickly take a moment and thank you. I wanted to thank everybody who was patient enough to wait for my video to come out and stay subscribed to my channel. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I really felt bad for not being able to put out a new video. So thank you for that. And I think after this one, I'll record a new video today, so you have one with the actual sound again. Because I think just hearing me talk without the game sounding and having the music and everything could be a bit boring. So I don't mind if you skip this one. Seriously. But I still feel compelled to do it and upload it. So for those who are interested in seeing the complete journey of my troop, that you have this video as well. So here I'm studying if it is wise to take up a contract in the southwest and do like a counterclockwise tour through this part of Wartales to gain some extra crowns. And I think that's exactly what I plan to do. So here's Finna's pack, which seems to be a nuisance. And some other guys, I think Liebert's troop as well. But first, Finna's troop, Finna's pack, because the payment is enormous. 552 crowns after negotiations. That's awesome. And yeah, and in the same direction there's Liebert's troop. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and accept this one as well. I think I'll try to negotiate here as well, but without luck. Alright, but it's in the same area as the other one, as Finna's pack, so that's really convenient. That's how much? More than 800 crowns, I think. Yeah, more than 800 crowns to be earned in the same area. So this is really convenient. Luckily for us, these third negotiations are successful, so we'll have another contract next to the jail. I'm not sure if Silla's Inquisitors will be counting as outlaws. I don't think so. Usually the Inquisition aren't considered outlaws. Although they conduct some questionable things. All right. So now we have a lot of contracts in a counterclockwise tour from Brown Rock back to Marheim, like a U-shaped journey. So what we first need to do is rest, because the troop has been fatigued from the travel from Marheim to Brown Rock. Now quickly check if everything is ready and loaded. And then I'll be able to compose a delicious meal. At least I hope it is for our guys. We still have a lot of fish soups. I hope they are delicious for them. I couldn't eat them. I can't eat fish. It's strange, but it is not so good for my health. It wasn't always like that. When I was young, I loved eating fish, especially when I was able, when I was on a coast where they had a fish market, where you could get the freshest fish possible. That was always a joy. Alright, the meal is composed and the troop is well rested. And look at all the produced resources here. Pretty much everything you can produce. Plus here an unaltered coat from that was the item Quinina was piecing together during the past rests. And now there's nothing left to do for her, so I checked the codices. And since the update, now you have to restore a codex first here. You get presented with 7 runes, and you have to find out the correct combination of 3 to match the codex. And yeah, it's pretty much like the Mastermind game, but a very simplified version of it, of course. So you choose 3 runes and then try to restore. And in the research tab on the right, it tells you how successful you were. So have you, for example, chosen 1 correct rune? So it tells you 1 out of the 3. The positions don't seem to matter. So this is yeah, even more simple. So finding the correct combination won't be very difficult. First, I wasn't really sure if I had only 1 chance to try and if I should find out which ones were the correct runes. But then I just went ahead and gave it a try. And here you see in the research 2 of the 3 runes are already correct. So we just need to find the 3rd one, and of course find out which 2 runes are the correct ones. So again, you can choose a second set, and you best only alter as little as possible to get the most information out of your next attempt. So there we are, last rune changed and we still had 2 correct. So I thought the first 2 were the correct ones, but that wasn't the case. Because now only 1 is correct. And bosh, there you have it. Now it's restored, and Quinina hit Journeyman as a scholar. So I think her stats are improved a bit as well. So now there are still 2 runes I need to discover in the tombs. for me to be able to finally research the codex. Like I did with the first 2 chapters, which already have a green tick next to them. So now it's a 2-stage process, or 3-stage even. So first you have to find the codex in a tomb, then you have to restore it, and then you have to research it. So I go ahead and play the minigame for the remaining 2 codices. And this one, I already hit the correct combination. And now for the last one. This one took a little bit longer. But again, not very complicated, since there are only 3 runes and no restriction to the position. So I'm already up to 2, and now I need to find the last one, which happens to be the last one in the row. There we go. And this one is restored as well. Let me take a quick sip. All right. So we don't have anything to decipher for Quinina, unfortunately, but I still leave her on the lectern because she produces extra knowledge every rest this way. So, Menathon didn't sign up to be a forest ranger. He doesn't want to slay beasts. He wants more. So we need to uplift his spirit again, and we'll give him a drink for that, because I don't want to reduce the relationships. I've done that once with Druid, and the relationships are still broken, unfortunately, despite all the efforts of me trying to improve the relationships again. So I gave him a drink. Here we gain some points for the paths through our actions. Another legendary craftsman, that was Quinina. So I think we are ready for our journey. Once again through Wartales. There are still a couple of locations I haven't visited yet. And I'm really curious where they are, and I would really like to find them before leaving Wartales. But I'm not sure if I'm going to find them. If you know where those locations are, the 2 that I am missing, and want to tell me, please let me know in the comments. I'm really curious where I have to go, but I don't want to run all around the border. I think it must be somewhere on the border, because I think I discovered pretty much everything around the center of Wartales. So if you could give me some directions, I'd appreciate it. So here's Libert, the Sly. And yeah, poor guys are only level 1, and only 3 of them, so they pose no threat at all, even with the leader's willpower. Oh yeah, with the leader traits, like the willpower one here, what got changed with the release is that you have to kill the leader in order for his troop members to lose this trait. So before it was you just had to engage with the leader and the entire troop lost the trait. But now you have to kill them, which makes sense. I think it is more difficult, of course, but it really makes sense that you have to get rid of the leader, so the troop gets discouraged and loses this trait. And this is the first time I think I saw Quinime do a special. Finish off the leader. And there's some loot. Of course, only level 1, but we'll gain some crowns by selling it. And since this was so easy, I didn't expect to find level 1 guys here. I asked myself, should I increase the difficulty? Since I think it was the update before the release that we now have the possibility to change difficulty during a game. And I've been thinking, should I increase the difficulty, at least of the fights? I don't think I want to increase the difficulty of the simulation, so running around in the open world. That's the simulation one, because it would restrict our movement, I think, because it's getting much harder to find enough food. And I don't want to be limited to running only to a contract's location and back to town in order to not starve. I really like exploring and yeah, let curiosity lead my way, even if it's not the most efficient way at times. So let me know in the comments if you want to see me increase the combat difficulty, so that we'll face a challenge again, because I think our troop is overkill, at least for this region. I don't know for the others, for the other regions to come, how this will turn out. But yeah, let me know in the comments if I should increase combat difficulty to the maximum. Can't remember how it's called now. I think it's called expert now. I'm on experienced, and the most difficult one will be expert, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, here I'm checking the stats of the bear. I think this is the first bear I've ever seen in-game, and I'm really excited about this one. And yeah, Finna only wanted the animals to be treated fairly, and with decency. So that's why she's opposed to the ones who gave us the contract. So I'm really thinking about capturing this bear. If you've seen past casts from me, you'll know how much I like to capture animals. So I'm really excited, and now lay out our troop starting positions, so we'll get a good opportunity. I'm a bit worried about the enormous amount of health points the bear has. Remember, we have to get the health below 50% to be able to start capturing them. And the lower we get their health, the easier it gets to capture. Or, in other words, the percents of success increase. So here I choose Menathon to be the tank to absorb the bear's attack, should he be able to act, which I'm not sure at this moment if he will be. And I still want to have some attack power here to get rid of the 3 other members of the enemy troop at the same time. And then, lastly, take care of this central group here. So Ganendi is in a good position behind all those boars. So the boars could rush in. Then she could give one of her infamous attack orders. Alright, I think we are set up well. So let's start the battle. So here I'll check if I want to hit first or if I want to charge through the enemies first. But I decide on getting some hits in. And we even crit the bear, but the bear doesn't really care at this point. After the 2 nerfs of Dagon's hammer, we really deal very little damage with it at this point, unfortunately. I think the second nerf wasn't really necessary, but the first one was a good choice, I think, because it was way overkill. And then, yeah, the first nerf was sufficient, in my opinion, because now the damage is really, really low. Even with 3 hits, I mean, 1 hit is now ridiculously low, like 18 damage, I think, on Quinaim, and a bit less on Rover. So this is really damage that you could deal with a level 3 or 4 weapon. I think. So now it's much too low, I think, because Quinim's hammer is at level 6, I think, or 7. So I think it should deal more damage. As I said, the damage after the first nerf was okay, I would say, because it was in the same range as the other weapons we have in our troop. So this made sense. Well, this explanation was all over the place. I hope I could clarify what I meant. All right, so here, unfortunately, I critted on the bear, so it put bleeding on him, which I didn't want to. This is especially brutal on a bear with so much maximum health, because bleeding reduces or costs the bear 20% health. Well, anybody who bleeds will lose 20% of their maximum health at the end of their own turn. So here I'm checking if I hit him again with the Wrath of Urkeshet and add the bleeding to it, would the bear die? And fortunately it wouldn't. So even if the bear would get to its turn, it wouldn't bleed to death. So that's really fortunate. And now I see that this savage in the southeast wants to act really soon, so I go in with Alfril to stop him. See this? Alfril deals 123 with a single attack, and Quinim dealt somewhere in the 50s with 3 attacks, or three hits. So I think it's very, very low now. So I'm checking here who will be able to reach the bear. And Dania is the first one. We need 5 ropes, which we have. And the success rate is 100%, which makes me really happy. And there we go. We captured our first bear. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I hope. Unless the enemies are going to put status effects onto them, like bleeding, poison, or fire, which all deal percents of damage. So now that I've taken care of the eastern group, it's time to go over and take care of Finna herself. We have all the valor points we could have, so I'm willing to spend some. See, even Chorid deals more damage with a single hit of his axe. Ooh, and I'm really looking forward to him hitting level 9, so I can give him the splitter. So, no more to do for him here. And now, I'll just pile in some of my animals to take care of the rest. Here, we won't be able to have both dominant sows on him because there's not enough space. The sows have a 2x2 meter base, and there's only a 1.5 meter space next to the first one here. So I go in next and attack Finna. So I'll take the attack, and so Dixie gets marked for death. I was a bit concerned, but it isn't that dangerous as it sounds, as it only increases the damage of friendly animals to this character, or to this, in this case, to Dixie. So if an enemy boar, for example, that's still alive there, would attack Dixie, they would deal more damage. So now they want to flee, which I disagree with. And then there we go. Now there are only 2 left. Here I didn't think about the bonus of Boreon's sword, so I should have gone in with the pony first, because she gets 50% extra damage if she attacks when standing next to a ally. But still, we were able to get them. So that's okay. Now I'm checking if I can get in with Rover and land a hit on the enemy without hitting our friends, which we are fortunately to do. 19 damage, and I think we try to charge them. There we go. Now there is Quinina left. And I wonder, could she run far enough to reach the final enemy? Which would be really nice. So we wouldn't have to spend another turn, which would cost us some of the energy that we need to run around the world map. So I'm really happy she was just able to hit him with the tip of her spear. So we didn't have to start a new round. Here I remember to learn the recipe that we've bought. And we get some more loot. Here, the Liberator Bow is really interesting because this is the first non-legendary weapon. It's not, the name is not in purple, which is upgradable. If you look at the bottom of the tooltip, it says bow upgradable. And this is really interesting. I haven't seen anything like it before. So first I thought maybe this is just maybe a mistake that it says it's upgradable, but it isn't. But yeah, I'm not sure. Here I'm checking the other weapon that has a yellow name, and this one isn't. It's a one-handed sword, but it isn't upgradable. So I'm really hoping once I get back to a training round that I'll be able to upgrade this bow, and then it will become a valuable weapon for us. So I could give it to Raphrain or gonna end he? And here is our bear. He looks cute and vicious at the same time. Cutious. Cute and vicious. So, I'm really happy with the enhanced vitality trait, and he's solitary, so I must make sure to fight with him or have him in not next to allies. But I think I'll do that anyway, since he will be a good tank, I think. He doesn't have the thick skin skill, which the boars have. Maybe once he levels up, he could get it. I don't know. But that would be really nice. So, let's check his specializations. The first one, Cozy Pelt. We could generate an extra valor point, which I think we don't really need. We generate a lot of valor points already during the rests. So, I really like this intimidating growl, because it forces the enemy to engage, and if the bear is already engaged, then he deals a second attack with his basic attack. Here it is, the tooltip. If already engaged in combat, this unit gains Relentless, which means it executes a attack of opportunity. So this is a strong combo. The intimidating growl and then the basic attack. And as a bonus, the enemy will get the fragility status, taking 30% extra damage. Going on to the level 5. Here's King of the Forest, gaining 50% damage increase when fighting in a forest. But here, I'm not very sure. Oh, let's check out the Master Fisher. This sounds really interesting. I really like to get more food for free. So we need to walk next to bodies of water to trigger this one. And I really like the ability to gain extra food. King of the Forest, I don't think it's very useful. I mean, when it triggers, it's really nice, of course. But we do not fight too often in forests, and well, I don't know what. How could I say this? What climate zones the other counties are in, or Jesus, words, they are difficult. I'm just afraid that we aren't facing too many forests in the future, so I'd rather have some extra food than just a little, or just this 50% extra damage on the bear. Because I don't regard him as the strongest fighter. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd rather use him as a tank to absorb some of the incoming damage where possible. So here I go ahead and career plan. Some strength. I think health is his health is high enough, although it dropped from 550 odd it was to 456. But that's still okay. Here's a laceration, which I of course heal immediately. I don't want the bear to be hurt. And yeah, he's set up for now. All right. So this is everything for today's cast. Thank you very much for listening to my voice. You're really awesome, and yeah, I really love making these videos. I'm really sorry. This one was only a voiceover, but in the coming videos I double and triple check that my microphone functions correctly. Although I think it wasn't the microphone that was the problem, it was the other end of the hardware. So yeah, thanks again for your loyalty, and I hope to entertain you in the future. Again, and yeah, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.